What's up, y'all? This your man DeSean BBN, and I'm back with another podcast. So, how y'all doing this Thursday afternoon? I know it's wet and rainy outside, but hey, it's still a good day. I mean, the way I see it, any day where you wake up where you're above the ground and you don't have to wake up in a hospital bed or in a prison cell, it's a good day. But hey, I'm just trying to be positive here. I mean, it's better to be a positive Perry than a negative Nancy. So try it for once. I mean, be positive. See how it makes you feel. See how it makes your day go. Anyways, let's get into this podcast. Now, this is a fair warning. This podcast is pro Kentucky, pro UK. The only reason I say this is because I got a lot of Facebook friends on my timeline who root for them other schools. You know them other schools, them weak old Duke, North Carolina, Louisville. Mm, no, forget them. You know what? If you're not a Kentucky fan, this ain't for you. But you know what? Feel free to watch it anyway. Anyways, if you haven't noticed by now, college basketball is back. My Kentucky Wildcats got their first win of the season against Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina, Louisville. Yeah, they won their first game too, but I don't care about them. This is all about Kentucky. So, first of all, I just want to do some shout outs. Give a shout out to all the fellow Kentucky alum who are in the NBA who have played so far this week. And yeah, I gotta say it's a long list because I mean we do got the most players in the NBA, so I got a lot of shout outs to do. So let's get into it. My first shout out goes to Eric Bledsoe of the Milwaukee Bucks. On Monday, in a win against the Timberwolves, Eric had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. No, Eric, although he's not always consistent, he might just be the best player on the Bucks, not named Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I know Chris Middleton, yeah, he was an all-star last year, but Chris can be inconsistent too. Sometimes more so than Eric. But anyways, shout out to Eric Bledsoe. My next shout out goes to Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. In a win against the Philadelphia 76ers, I almost said Eagles there, Devin had 40 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, you heard that right, 40, 4-0. 40 points from Devin Booker. Now, I mean, if you remember, not Eric, but Devin Booker was in my top 10 shooting guards list. I had him at number 4. I mean, if you don't believe me, I mean, if you don't think he's top 5, then maybe you should reconsider. I mean, he dropped 40 points in a victory against the 76ers. That's one of the best teams in the NBA this year. I mean, that loss to the Suns was the first loss of the season for the 76ers. As for Phoenix, yeah, I know they've been bad these last 9, 10 years or so, but right now they're actually doing pretty good. They're 5-2, and a big reason why is because of Devin Booker. So, yeah, if you don't believe me, maybe you should watch him. I mean, Devin Booker, he's for real. He's a top 5 shooting guard. Next shout out goes to PJ Washington. In a win against the Pacers, he had 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Now, I'm kind of surprised that PJ Washington is doing so well because, you know, Charlotte is not exactly a great spot for rookies. I mean, especially since they don't have a coach. Their front office don't know how to build a team. I mean, I was afraid that PJ was going to go to Charlotte and not get the development and coaching he needs and end up fading into irrelevancy. But he's doing pretty good. I mean, he might not win Rookie of the Year, but he'll definitely make the All-Rookie team if he keeps it up all year. Maybe the All-Rookie first team, but if he keeps it up, he'll at least make the All-Rookie second team. My next shout-out is to Malik Monk, also on the Charlotte Hornets. He only had 4 points, a couple of rebounds, 3 assists, but hey, you're a Kentucky alum, so I'm going to give you a shout-out anyway. Malik, I mean, I don't know. I think you got one more year left on your rookie contract. Man, if you're going to leave Charlotte, come to Dallas. I mean, Rick Carlisle will get the best out of you. Oh, and yeah, I want somebody to cheer for that plays for the Mavericks. I mean, I want a Kentucky player on my favorite NBA team, the Mavericks. And if we got a chance to get you, come on board. Like, you'll do great things in Dallas. My next shout out goes to Trey Lyles. He's with the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, I mean, they are rivals with my Mavericks, but I'm still going to give you a shout out anyway. Although the Spurs lost to the Hawks, Trey Lyles had a solid game, 8 points, 11 rebounds. My next shout out goes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Hamidou Diallo of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai had 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in a victory against the Orlando Magic. Hamidou Diallo had 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. Shai, I gotta say, he's doing pretty good right now. I think if he keeps it up, he may end up winning Most Improved Player. But then again, he might not because Oklahoma City's rebuilding. And if there's a player on a playoff contender who's having a great year and improved from last year, more than likely he will win Most Improved Player. Oh, almost forgot. Nerlens Noel. He also plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He chipped in and helped them beat the Magic as well. He had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Next shout out goes to Anthony Davis. Well, actually, I'm going to give him 2 shout outs. The first of which was for his performance against the Chicago Bulls. He had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And I also want to give him a shout out for the game he had against the Grizzlies. He had 40 points and 20 rebounds. Now, I believe they said on ESPN that Anthony Davis is the first Lakers big man since Shaq to have a 40-point, 20-rebound performance. Now, anytime you can get mentioned with Shaq, that's a good thing. Shaq is one of the greatest big men to ever play the game. My personal opinion, top 5 center all time. So if you can be mentioned in the same sentence as Shaq, you're doing something right. Now, 26 of Anthony Davis's 40 points came from the free throw line. But you know what? I mean, if they're going to send you to the line, make them pay. I mean, he went 26 of 27. So, hey, at least he made his free throws. My next shout out goes to Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat. Bam had 6 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Tyler had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Although they didn't win the game, they lost to the Nuggets. But I gotta say, Bam Adebayo, he's doing pretty good down there in Miami. Now, I don't know if he's a future All-Star in the making, but I think he's got a bright future in the NBA. He'll be a starter for many years to come. Tyler Hero, yes, this is probably the first bad game that he's had in the NBA. I mean, 2 points, nothing to sneeze at, but he's been playing great most of this year so far. He even scored 29 points in a victory. I think it was against the Bulls. He had 29 points, and it only took him 9. He went 7 of 9 from the field, so it only took him 9 shots to get those points. He also shot pretty well from the free throw line that game. Now, Tyler Hero was Charles Barkley's pick for Rookie of the Year. Now, I mean, if Tyler Hero continues to play great all year, he might win Rookie of the Year. But I think at the very least, he'll make it to the all-rookie first team. Especially if he could have more 20-point performances like that and maybe sprinkle in some 30 and 40-point performances. Yeah, Tyler, he's a star in the making, that's for sure. And so is P.J. Washington. Next, Jamal Murray, another star in the making. Jamal had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in a victory against the Heat. Yep, that cat-on-cat crime. Yeah, I mean, it sucks when 2 UK players play against each other because, I mean, I want to see everybody from Kentucky do well. But when you've got a Kentucky player on half the teams in the NBA, it's bound to happen. And that's what happened the other night when the Nuggets beat the Heat. Next shout out goes to Julius Randle. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in a loss against Detroit. Now, Julius plays for the Knicks. Now, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're paying him good money, but he could have got that same money from another team, from a better team. The Knicks gave him 3 years, $63 million. 3 years, $63 million. That's, on average, a little over $20 million a year. I'm pretty sure he could have got that same money from a better team, like my Mavericks, or the Portland Trailblazers, or Milwaukee, somebody, but he chose to go to the Knicks. I mean, I guess on the bright side, the Knicks haven't they've been competitive in all their games. I think only one of their 7 losses was a blowout. The Knicks currently sit with the worst record in the NBA at 1-7. I mean, they keep it up, they might get the #1 pick next year and be able to take James Wiseman. I don't know. Next shout out goes to De'Aaron Fox. Against the Raptors, De'Aaron had 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists in a losing effort. Now, Fox, I mean, if you're going to leave Sacramento, I don't know, consider Dallas. Because I think he's got one more year left on his rookie contract, and Sacramento has not offered him an extension yet. So you might want to consider Dallas if you do leave Sacramento. And I mean, if you do leave Sacramento, I can't say I blame you because Sacramento right now is disappointing. They're not the worst team in the league, but right now they only got 2 victories. And I thought Sacramento would be better than this, but I guess on the bright side, they're not the worst team in the league. My next shout out goes to Karl Anthony Towns. In a loss against the Grizzlies, he had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Now, this was Towns' first game since being suspended after his fight with Joel Embiid. Now, it wasn't really a fight. It was just a bunch of pushing and shoving. Embiid got in his feelings. Cat was like, I ain't having it. They started shoving each other. Ben Simmons had to restrain Cat, or Karl Anthony Towns might have had to throw them hands. But yeah, anyways, shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. If you're going to leave Minnesota, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I know they got you locked into a max contract, but maybe demand a trade to Dallas. I mean, you and Porzingis together might be the best front court in the NBA if that were to happen. Now, of course, I know we can't have everybody on the Dallas Mavericks, but I just want at least one Kentucky player on the Mavericks that I can cheer for. Next shout out is Eric Bledsoe. Again, last night the Bucks beat the Clippers. Eric had 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists in that game. Now, Eric Bledsoe, what were you thinking, man? I guess you know how when the referee gives you the ball so you can inbound it to your teammate, the referee gives Eric Bledsoe the ball and he starts dribbling. I'm like, what are you doing, Eric? Like, are you trying to get in? Are you trying to get on Shaqtin' the Fool? Because that's how you get on Shaqtin' the Fool. I mean, did you forget you gotta inbound the ball? You can't just take off and dribble. But anyways, at least they won the game. And my last shout out goes to Patrick Patterson. He plays for the Clippers. They lost to the Bucks. He had 2 points, 5 rebounds. Yeah, not a big performance, but I mean it's something. You gave your contribution, even though y'all lost. I mean, the Clippers really ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, once Paul George comes back, it's gonna be even tougher to beat him. So that's it for my shout outs. And now I just want to review our game against Michigan State. Now, I know some of y'all were watching. I know non-Kentucky fans watch us just as much as they watch their own team. I know y'all do. Yeah, we beat Michigan State 69-62. Now, was it the prettiest game? No, not really. I'll be honest, it wasn't. But I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day of the week. Now, when I say pretty loss, I mean we looked good, but we just didn't do enough to win. Yeah, I'll take that ugly win any day of the week. Now, some pros and cons from this game. I'll start with the cons. The biggest con of the game was our offense. We only shot 38% from the field as a team and 33% from the three-point line. Now, some of it was bad shot selection. Some of it was because we were getting good shots, but we just weren't converting. Some of it was because we were getting to the rim, but we weren't finishing our layups. And some of it was because we couldn't get into a flow. Now, I'm not trying to play victim here, but it happens a lot in college basketball. The referees will swallow their whistle, call a bunch of ticky-tack fouls, and it prevents either team from getting to a rhythm. And that's what happened Tuesday night. The referee kept blowing the whistle, and we couldn't get into a rhythm on offense. I'm telling you, I'm not making no excuses. It's hard to get in a rhythm when the referees are constantly blowing their whistle. I mean, pay attention to that if you don't believe me. I mean, not just when Kentucky plays, but when your own team plays, if you don't believe me, because that's exactly what happened. Now, Another con, I guess I could say, is we didn't get a lot of production from our freshmen other than Tyrese Maxey. I mean, typically, in Kentucky, our best players are freshmen. John Wall, AD, Towns, Devin Booker, Jamal Murray, so on and so on. Tyrese Maxey played pretty good, but we didn't get much production from Keon Brooks. We didn't get much from Khalil Whitney. We didn't get anything from Johnny Jazang. Yeah, our freshmen struggled besides Maxey. Khalil only had 4 points. Keon Brooks and Johnny Jazang, they didn't score at all. And Dante Allen, I believe he's still recovering from his ACL and collarbone, so he didn't play. But the good thing is it's only the first game of the year, so we got plenty of time to correct mistakes, to get better. And just as long as we don't go backwards, everything will be fine. We still got 30 games left to figure things out, and well, if we can't figure things out by the last game of the season, then I don't know what to say. Now, for some pros. Now, our defense. That was the biggest pro. That's the biggest takeaway from the game. Our defense was suffocating Michigan State. They could not do anything. They couldn't get into a rhythm. Now, I mean, what impressed me most is we did a lot of switching, and we were real quick to switch back. Like, even when we was out of position, our guys would communicate, get back in order to contest the shot. Michigan State, pretty much, they had to work hard for every one of their baskets. Like, they did not get a lot of easy buckets. Like, yeah, I know it's only the first game of the year, but if they keep it up, this will probably be our best defensive team in the Calipari era. Our defense was awesome. Another pro, free throws. Now, that's been an Achilles heel for these last few years, but as a team, we shot 78% from the free throw line. We went 25 of 32. Now, I know some of y'all probably think, oh, UK cheated, they bought the refs, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, don't even start. I mean, I know that's what some of y'all will say, but that ain't what happened. I mean, we didn't buy the refs. It's not our. Michigan State had 23 personal fouls called against them for the game. Kentucky had 20. So yeah, you can't say, oh, the referees helped us out, because we had almost the same number of fouls as they did. I mean, we just had a better defensive team. Now, Michigan State, yeah, they shot 39% from the field, and they only made like 19% of their three-pointers. And so when you shoot the ball that poorly, chances are you're not going to win the game. So you can't say the referees were helping us out. Now, another pro was Tyrese Maxey. Man, what a game for Tyrese Maxey. He had 26 points, went 7 of 12 shooting from the field, and knocked down 3 three-pointers. All 3 of them were big shots, too. Now, my predictions for this were almost 100% correct. I predicted that UK would win the game 73-68. Now, we didn't break 70 points, but we still won, so that's the important thing. I predicted that Tyrese Maxey would be our leading scorer. Now, I said he would only score 22, but he scored 26, so that's even better. I don't know. Something inside of me just like, yeah, Tyrese Maxey's gonna be our leading scorer, even though he came off the bench. And sure enough, I was right. I mean, that dude, he's a baller. I mean, he's so fast, he's so quick. I mean, he just gets buckets. He was looking like Lou Williams out there coming off the bench for the Clippers and just hitting shot after shot. Man, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with his shooting too. Like, from the scouting reports I read about Maxey, they said three-point shooting was something he needed to work on. Well, I mean, I guess he listened, because he went 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. And like I said, those three three-pointers that he hit were all big shots. 2 of them were deep threes. Now, I'm talking like Stephen Curry range. Them shots where you're like, how do you hit that? Yeah, that was Tyrese Maxey. I mean, I remember too. Like, there was less than a minute left in the game. We got the ball. We're only up by 2. Tyrese Maxey's dribbling, pulls up, shoots a 3 from nearly half court. I'm like, oh, Tyrese. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, if he keeps it up, I think he'll be our leading scorer for the season. Might average 20 points per game for the year. Now, another positive was Ashton Hagans and Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, they didn't play great, but they played pretty good, and they each scored in double digits. Ashton had 11, Emmanuel Quickly had 10. Ashton Hagans, who is a decent three-point shooter, made all, not three-point, free throw, I mean. He made all his free throws. He went to the free throw line 5 times and made all 5 of them. And Emmanuel, he went to the free throw line 8 times and hit 7. He even hit a 3 in the game, too. And another positive was Nate Sestina. Now, he didn't have a lot of points. He only had 7, but he hit a big 3 when we needed it. He had that breakaway dunk in the closing seconds to seal the deal. He grabbed 6 rebounds, and although he got into some foul trouble, I mean, he made smart plays on both ends of the court. He didn't try to do too much. He was a steady presence out there. Now, our next game is against Eastern Kentucky, which should be a win. I mean, you never know, anything can happen, but I'm pretty sure we will win that game. Now, this game will be a chance to, get into a groove, to make some mistakes and play through them. Because unless we just flat out suck, I mean, we should come away with that win. We should win by 10, 15, maybe 20 points. I don't know. But as long as we don't take them lightly, I think we'll win. This will definitely be a game that we can do a little experiment with different lineups throughout the game, see what works best. Now, as I mentioned in my last podcast, I predict that Kentucky will be a Final Four team at the very minimum. If not a championship team, at least Final Four. I believe that at the most we'll only lose 3 games, especially if our defense can be suffocating like this every night. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm glad college basketball's back. I mean, sucks that we don't play North Carolina this year in the regular season, but maybe we'll see them in the tournament. But we do see Louisville. We gonna beat them when we play them in December, especially since that Rupp. We beat them last year on their own court. They have yet to beat us at Rupp since Calipari's been the coach, and it ain't gonna change this year. Should be a good game, but we're gonna come out on top regardless. L's down, BBN baby. Let's go Cats. All right, y'all. DeSean BBN. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, oh well. I mean, I'm all about the Cats. I'm not about Duke or North Carolina. Forget y'all. So next time y'all see me, I'll have the top 10 power forwards for you in the NBA right now. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'm out.